Hold up.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It is FoxJadu98 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today on my channel. Today we are back with my F1 2016 Career Mode Season 4 now with Ferrari. So as you can see, we are here for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We've got an R&D event that we are going to look at, and that is going to be the new parts fitted, which was the downforce that we added, and also the drag reduction part of the car. So we added 2 new upgrades for our car ready for this Bahrain Grand Prix, which I'm happy about, and that is going to take us in front of Red Bull in terms of the vehicle performance comparison chart, thanks to that. So pretty impressed to see that we have in front of Red Bull, and the only team in front of us now, of course, is Mercedes. So if you do enjoy today's video, drop a like on it, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're new around here as well, and I can't wait to get this episode started. So into the Drivers' Championship we go. If you haven't seen the last race, I recommend going and seeing it, otherwise you won't know what has happened. But Lewis Hamilton currently leads the way in the Drivers' standings ahead of Max Verstappen, ahead of myself. Ferrari are second in the Constructors' standings, just behind behind Mercedes, and then Red Bull currently line up in third. So as you can see then, we are here for the track acclimatization test, and as you can see, this is going to be a perfect lap. Everything was purple, and Bahrain is definitely my favourite, up there as my top 3 favourite circuits to drive in the game. So, of course, with McLaren Honda, I took 3rd place for the race. With Red Bull, I won that Grand Prix, and I won it also with Mercedes. So, theoretically, I'm aiming for a podium position, if not the win, with Ferrari for this race, because my record is so good around here. I've not been on the podium before. I've always been on the podium in the 4 seasons that I've done with McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull. I've always been on the podium, so I'm aiming for that as well in here with Ferrari, and I'm aiming for the win most of all, because I know this is a strong track of mine. So as you can see then, we're here on the qualifying simulation run, which was okay. I had to avoid Rio Haryanto going super slow into turn 1 and 2, and I also made contact with Perez as he was going super slow through the end of the middle sector. So as you can see, we are grabbing up our resource points, which is absolutely crucial. And one thing that I've definitely noticed that I really need to get upgraded is the chassis weights. Now, of course, the best thing about the Red Bull car is its immense chassis. It's so good, you can literally fling it into a corner and it's planted to the ground. Whereas with this Ferrari, it's got a bit of understeer to it. So I definitely want to look at reducing the chassis weight very, very soon in order to counteract that, because I still feel like the straight line on the Ferrari is not terrible and it is doable. It's quicker than the Red Bull, because with the Red Bull, I focused a lot on the straight line speed of it. Whereas with this Ferrari, the straight line speed isn't necessarily the biggest problem. It's actually the downforce that we need to look at, and the chassis weight. So we're going to be looking for that. So as you can see then, we've got a proper qualifying simulation session all up and ready. So here is Q1 for you guys then. You can see that I managed to qualify in 5th with the 2 Red Bulls, and Mercedes is in front of us. So still looking strong, the Red Bulls, despite us overtaking them in the vehicle performance comparison chart. Down into the final corner we go here. Sebastian Vettel is actually the fastest at the moment here in Q2 at this very moment in time. But we open up the DRS and we come flying through there to set the fastest lap of Q2, which was very, very good for us. And a very strong sign for Ferrari here. A 1-2 for Ferrari in Q2. So very, very promising stuff with Verstappen, followed by Hamilton, Ricciardo, and then Nico Rosberg will be starting on the soft tyres for the race, going on a different strategy to the rest of the drivers. Into Q3 we go then, and this is where it's going to get very intense. Nico Rosberg is currently the pace setter up front, but can we beat what Rosberg has put on the time boards? As you can see, we're coming down with the DRS wide open here. Can we beat Rosberg's time? We can't. We're just a fraction under 0.2 of a second shy of Nico Rosberg. And look at that. The top 6 are separated by just over 0.2 of a second. So a super close qualifying session there. Nico Rosberg edges out Daniel Ricciardo. And I believe that is Sebastian Vettel, I believe, got 3rd. And I managed to qualify in 4th for the race. So very, very close qualifying indeed. I was actually slower on my Q3 lap than I was on my Q2 lap. So if I managed to nail my Q3 lap like I did in Q2, I actually probably would have got pole position by about a couple of tenths. So a bit gutted about that. But hey, P4, we can't complain about that. We're definitely in the hunt for this Bahrain Grand Prix, and we're looking very, very strong. So, as you can see here, we are going to get our session goals here from Emma. But that's all, guys, for practice and qualifying. Let's get into the race for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
So before the off,
Let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Nico Rosberg will start his silver arrow from pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel and a Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton and Verstappen, Bottas, Massa, Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz, Perez, Gutierrez, Jenson Button and Alonso, Grosjean, Kvyat, Marcus Ericsson and Kevin Magnussen, Haryanto and Palmer, Pascal Wehrlein and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright then guys, we are here for the Bahrain Grand Prix on the grid. I'm going to be starting on the super soft tyres and then making the switch to the soft tyres for the end of the race. Now people have been asking why don't I do 50% races. The only reason I don't do 50% races is due to my university timetable. I don't have time to record 50% races and edit 50% races. So I stick to 25% because I like to get these videos out and I just don't have time if I do 50% races. So just a quick note about that. But as you can see then we have got 5 red lights here for this Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's lights out, and away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's been an okay start from us. It's been a great start from Ricciardo. Nico Rosberg has struggled off the line with his soft tyres here, but however, we are the Divebomb King. In we go, down into turn 1. Can we actually stop the car? We have. We stopped the car into turn 1, and straight away we're up into the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. That is the Divebomb King coming into full effect there, and getting past all 3 of my title rivals in the space of 1 corner, and we have set ourselves a perfect chance here of winning this Grand Prix. We are in the lead of this Bahrain Grand Prix with Ricciardo in 2nd, Rosberg in 3rd, Vettel is 4th, followed by Hamilton, and then Max Verstappen. But what an overtake. We'll talk about that at the when we do a replay of the first lap. But it is now in our hands. The entire race is now going to be controlled by myself. If any of the drivers want to close up on me and attack me, they've now got to get past me. And my defensive skills in this game, I'm not going to be cocky or anything, but I think they're probably one of my best attributes. So now I have full control of this race, and I love this circuit anyway to drive around. It's so fun to drive, and you can already see the big advantage that I'm pulling over Daniel Ricciardo in this early stage of the race. I want to build myself a nice gap over my rivals, because of course eventually they will close up on me. It's not like I'm just going to pull away like I am right now. It's I normally am faster at the start of the stints, and then the other drivers come back at me near the end of stints. So I definitely want to take full advantage of the pace that I have in this early stages of the race. So as you can see now, coming now down towards the the final corner, sorry, here, navigating that nicely and then getting nice and wide there. Could have taken a bit more of the curve there. I tended to not do that in the in this race, which is a bit weird for myself. But coming across the line now, you can see that we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and an absolutely beautiful start from the Divebomb King as we get things underway. So as you can see, we are going to have a replay of the start. Let's go and see how the Divebomb King affected and got this move done. So as you can see here, everyone was all battling, and I basically just went for it down the inside. I braked super late, and I really tried to get the car slowed down, and luckily there's a lot of space into turn 1, and I was able to do that quite nicely, and it gave me the inside line into turn 2 as well. So not only did the Red Bull of Ricciardo get the switch back on me, but as soon as I broke late, I knew Ricciardo would be slightly alongside me. So I was able to take the inside line, and it meant that I was able to shove Ricciardo a little bit wider, and I was able to just blast on past, really. It was a beautiful move there, and it was, I literally was saying it in the Grand Prix. As soon as I was recording the video and I was there, I started braking the car, and I'm like, I've just locked up completely. I'm going way off the track. I'm going to drop down to about 8th place. And then I slowed the car down, and I was able to make the corner somehow, and I was like, oh my god, I've made the corner. I've just executed the dive bomb. And I was so happy in my mind, and when I was racing, I was just, I was ecstatic about it. And anyway, as you can see then, this is when we started to pull away from Ricciardo. So you can see the grid order behind with my teammate closing up on the back of Nico Rosberg in the Mercedes, who was on a different strategy. So I'm actually more worried about Nico Rosberg at this stage. Now, Ricciardo doesn't seem that quick at this early stage of the race. I'm able to pull away at him at a good rate of knots. However, it's Nico Rosberg that I'm worried about, because he can potentially go longer on his first set of tyres, on this soft tyres, and then he can make the pit stop to go onto the super soft tyres, ready for the final stint, which means that he's going to be quicker at the end of the race with a faster compound. However, he may start on the soft tyres and then make the switch to the medium compound tyres, which means that he'll be on a slower compounded tyre from me throughout the entire Grand Prix, but it means that he's going to have that better tyre life, and his tyres will be in a much better working range. Skipping all the way to lap 5 of the Grand Prix, Daniel Ricciardo has been overtaken by both Rosberg and my teammate, and it's time for me to make my pit stop. So I have had probably one of the most dominant opening Grand Prix ever on Ultimate AI, apart from Russia last year with Red Bull. But I'm coming into the pits now because I'm going to be making my change to the soft tyres, and yeah, I'm just having a very nice race. This is what I mean, guys. Like, a lot of people will say, you know, this is this and that and whatever. But at the end of the day, look, the Bahrain, this track it just suits me. Of course, when we were racing in Australia, I don't really like driving around Melbourne. However, driving around Bahrain, I absolutely love driving around Bahrain. So, of course, I always set myself high standards for this track. But as you can see, we have now come out of the pits here, and we've got a couple of cars, and we've got a bit of traffic to navigate. So, we definitely want to be wary of this. I've managed to pull myself out into a nice, comfortable gap to start with. Now, of course, eventually, I'm going to close up to this massive bunch of cars. We've got the Sauber, the Manor, the Renault, and another Manor, and just everyone just all queuing up, basically. And eventually, I will close up to this pack, and I am going to be stuck in traffic. Now, crucially, I've actually built myself a small little gap over Nico Rosberg from the pit stops, which is actually very nice and good. However, I can only utilize that if I get past this traffic, and I can basically get in front of them, because then eventually the two of the Mercedes drivers and also Ricciardo and Verstappen and even my teammate will also have to navigate this pack. Now, as you can see here, we've got Bussen, we have got Grosjean, we've got Alonso, Gutierrez, Marcus Ericsson, Magnussen, Kvyat, Haryanto, Palmer, Verline, and also Nasser. So we've got a massive queue of cars to get past. We instantly get past Felipe Nasser with flying colours there. And next on my hit list is going to be the Manor of Pascal Verline. So we definitely want to get past him as quick as possible. So we go for the little dive bomb here down the inside, and we get past him very, very comfortably. Now we've got the Renault of Jolyon Palmer in front of us, so we definitely want to try and get past. Because we just need to navigate everyone, because everyone that stayed out a lap longer than myself are definitely going to be in for a good advantage. We go down the inside of Jolyon Palmer here, nice executed move, and next up is Rio Haryanto in the Manor, but you can already see that I'm right on the back of him. We're going to have the DRS activated for myself, and as you can see, I'm going to pull out of the slipstream of Rio Haryanto, and nice job done. We don't even need to worry about him. We're going to get the move done into turn 1. Down the inside we go, nicely done there, and we are back through that back mark, and you just saw on the clip of your screens there that Vettel has just come out of the pits, so we've already built ourselves quite a comfortable advantage. So there they are there on the back of your screens. So we've actually got a good gap right now, and you can see here we're going to go 3 abreast on the run up towards turn 4. Kvyat, Magnussen and myself here, and we're going to overtake a lot of them and go up more positions, which is going to put myself in a very strong position. All these drivers are running on soft tyres, so they're going to go to about lap 9 in this Grand Prix, whereas I'm going to be able to pull away now, and I believe that my rivals will eventually close up to them and maybe be stuck behind them for at least a lap or so. So I've definitely built myself a good buffer, and we're in a very strong position to I can already think about winning this Bahrain Grand Prix. We are in a very, very strong position in this stages of the race, and I'm very, very comfortable right now, and you can already see that I'm pulling away from Kvyat and slowly edging my way closer to Esteban Gutierrez in the Haas F1 car. So we definitely want to get past him as quick as we can, because again, he's on soft tyres and he is going to be going longer on his first stint, and we want to get past him to try and make some inroads. But you've got some yellow flags coming in, and it is actually Sergio Perez that's out of the race with an engine failure, but he's actually caused a safety car. Sergio Perez's engine failure has caused a safety car. You should see him on the side of the track just there. Perez is out of the Grand Prix, and he has just completely thrown this race on its head. The amount of... I'm gutted at this point, because the advantage that I have pulled over Vettel, Rosberg, Hamilton, Verstappen and Ricciardo has been completely wiped out at this stage, and they are all going to close right up on me, and we're going to have a stash, literally a literal sprint to the finish line. So on to lap 10 of the Grand Prix now. You can see the safety cars coming at the end of this lap. It's actually myself who's leading this Grand Prix ahead of Vettel, so we've got a Ferrari 1-2 so far in this Grand Prix. That's right, I said it, Ferrari 1-2. That is right, me and Vettel are currently leading this Grand Prix, and it's up to me now to get everyone ready to go racing again. But the advantage that I pulled, I've been so dominant in this Grand Prix, and now everything that I have worked for is gone, basically. It's all gone, and I'm gutted about it. But we can't do anything about it now. We've got to focus. As you can see, coming around the final corner we go. Sebastian Vettel is there, and now we have bolted. We've decided to go at this point. We've gone very, very late indeed, but we have gone, and Vettel is right behind us. However, my tactics of trying to go before everyone else has not worked. Vettel is going to go alongside me here, and he's going to take the outside line into turn 1. So Vettel already piling on some pressure. Down the inside we go here. Can we stay in front of Vettel? We do just that there, and Vettel runs wide, and that's going to allow Rosberg to take advantage there. So me and Vettel battling has given Rosberg a good time to go straight through there on his medium compound tyres, and you can already see that we pulled ourselves a small gap. Once again, it's about 1.2 seconds, I believe, between myself and Rosberg, if I show us going through the first sector, which I believe it's about 1.2 seconds. On to lap 12 of the Grand Prix, though, things are not going our way. Nico Rosberg is coming back at us, so his medium compound tyres are at their optimal working range now, and that Mercedes it's a Mercedes. There's nothing else I can say about it. It's just a Mercedes. So we're going to be definitely under a lot of pressure here from Nico Rosberg. So down into the last corner we go here. Can we defend against Nico Rosberg in that Mercedes? He's going to be quick. And now we're going to see we're already pulling out of the slipstream. So I know that Mercedes is super quick in a straight line. And Nico Rosberg then eventually actually does a cheeky thing. Pulls into my slipstream and then pulls back out here. So he's going to go around the outside. Can Rosberg make this stick? He can't. I'm going to defend the inside line. And I'm going to do what I did to Vettel and not give him any room at all. And into turn 3, making the run up towards turn 4. Rosberg's still with it though, unlike Sebastian. Rosberg is still going to be there. He's going to go to the outside into turn 4. This run up here, can Nico Rosberg make the move stick? Down the inside we go. And we're going to defend once again from Nico Rosberg. Shoving him wide there. Can Vettel make a move? Vettel tried to make a move there on Nico Rosberg. Not going to work out for him though. And we've also got ourselves a small buffer once again. But Rosberg will no doubt come back at us because his medium compound tyres are up to full range. And you can already see here, skipping further on to the end of the lap, Nico Rosberg is here. He's with us. And he says, hey Foxy, can I get past you please? And I'm like, no, you got to get back. You got to see if you can overtake me. So let's see what Rosberg can do. Down the pit straight we go here. We're going to defend from Rosberg. DRS is going to be active, so that Mercedes is going to be even faster in a straight line. And he comes flying through in that Mercedes car. So quick here. But I am the dive bomb king, and we're going to dive bomb down the inside here of Nico Rosberg. And we get the job done there. And Rosberg has to sit back. And you can see I've given Vettel a good chance here to stay in front of Nico Rosberg. So very good stuff myself there. Lewis Hamilton, Vettel, and Rosberg all going for it. Hamilton goes to the outside line, and it's going to be a three-way fight into turn 4. Who's going to come out on top here? Rosberg actually comes out on top, and Vettel's going to stay behind it here. So there's Rosberg, Vettel, and Hamilton now fighting away. So good battles here between all of the AI drivers. And as we start swooping through the middle sector, myself is in the lead. Rosberg second, Vettel is in third, and Hamilton is in fourth. So after all of that battling, we have all managed to maintain our original positions on the grid. So some stunning fighting there from myself and also the Ferrari and also the Mercedes. So really good action going on here in this Grand Prix as we try and wind down after what happened. A lot of stuff going on here. And let's just kick on things. We're on to the final lap of the Grand Prix here, and all is going well for us at the moment. You can see here we're navigating our way through this final sector. Nico Rosberg is still closing in on us at this rate. My soft tyres are pretty much going off at this point, whereas Nico Rosberg still got that little extra crucial bit of life in his medium compound tyres. So his strategy is definitely paying off for him because he's going to have fresher tyres and an optimal working range. Rosberg coming at us, but it's just not going to be enough. Braking hard as we can here, down into the final corner. A bit of understeer from the Ferrari, but it's all right here. Nico Rosberg has tried everything, but we have gone through. We've dominated this Bahrain Grand Prix, and that is going to be victory number 1 for Ferrari in Season 4. We have taken the win here ahead of Nico Rosberg, and what a fantastic Grand Prix from myself here at Bahrain. I have managed to maintain my personal record of staying on the podium at every Bahrain Grand Prix that I have done in my career modes. And as you can see here, I am ecstatic with that. Hands up in the air, celebrating and waving like I just don't care. And Sebastian Vettel got on the podium as well for Ferrari. So a double podium, so a stunning race for Ferrari in our second Grand Prix. And we have put ourselves in great contention for this Drivers' Championship and even the Constructors' Championship as well. Overall then, in the first stint, as I showed you lap 1 of the Grand Prix, and then I showed you lap 5 for my pit stop. So in the first stint, I was absolutely untouchable. Ricciardo was definitely not very quick in the first stint, and that allowed me to pull away quite nicely. Coming out of the pits, I even built an advantage again. But that was wiped away thanks to Sergio Perez's retirement. And it was clear to see that the reason that I really dominated that race is I was able to get that gap early on at the start of the stints. And then I was able to maintain the gap. But of course, because the safety car had bunched the cars up right up, because I wasn't able to get that gap like I do initially at the start of the stint, it meant that the drivers were able to stay with me during the safety car restart. And they took advantage of the DRS. And it was a pretty chaotic end to the race. Into the driver's standings we go. We now take the lead in the driver's standings over Lewis Hamilton, thanks to our win, and Lewis Hamilton finishing, I believe, down in 4th. So we're now 3 points clear in the driver's standings, which is very good as we move on to China, which is a weak circuit of mine. And then in the constructor standings, Ferrari take the lead ahead of Mercedes by 4 points. So, of course, there's only 2 rounds in this Grand Prix. We've got a long way to go. And the next race is in China, and that's a Grand Prix that I don't perform well at. So we'll have to see how we can do there. As you can see, I'm trying to rack up my resource points. It's not enough to get me the chassis weight upgrade that I really wanted to get for China. So I'm just going to have to work hard in the Chinese Grand Prix practice sessions, qualifying in the race, in order to get enough resource points for Russia. But until then, guys, I will see you very soon for the Chinese Grand Prix. Take care all. Thanks for watching. Peace.